Toto Wolff has recently stirred up some speculation about a possible return of Lewis Hamilton to Mercedes. While this idea seems distant right now, Wolff remains firm in suggesting it's not something we should dismiss just yet. For context, the initial hope was that Hamilton would secure his 8th championship with Ferrari, which led him to part ways with Mercedes, a team where he had achieved incredible success. But with so many variables in play, the question remains, could Hamilton go back to the team that gave him so much? What's even more surprising is that at the start of 2024, before pre-season testing, Hamilton announced his departure from Mercedes to join Ferrari. This bombshell left both Wolff and Mercedes with mixed emotions. While the split wasn't entirely unexpected given the way Mercedes had treated Hamilton during 2022 and 2023, it was still a jarring decision. After all, Hamilton never got the chance to test out the W15 and see if Mercedes had made any improvements with their new car. Wolff believes that Hamilton's move to Ferrari won't mark the end of his relationship with Mercedes, and he remains hopeful that the two could still collaborate in the future. This could happen either through a role as a driver or perhaps an ambassador for the brand. It's a bit of a paradox, though, especially when you consider that Hamilton's demands were not fully met during the recent contract negotiations. This might be an indication that Wolff regrets not pushing harder to keep Hamilton beyond 2025. Wolff further clarified that there's no permanent break between Mercedes and Hamilton. According to him, the relationship is not over, neither professionally nor personally. He added that Hamilton simply chose to pursue a different path for the final chapter of his career, which he understands. Despite the split, Wolff emphasized that Hamilton will always be a part of the Mercedes family, and the door will remain open for him. Whether it's in a driving role or something else, there may come a time when Hamilton's involvement with Mercedes could reignite. After all, the future is always unpredictable in Formula One. Wolff's statement also hinted at the possibility of reuniting with Hamilton in a post-racing role, especially since Mercedes has a new, young driver lineup. However, this doesn't mean the team's future is entirely secured for the next 5 or 10 years. The world of Formula One is known for its unpredictability, and if things don't go according to plan with Hamilton at Ferrari, there's always a chance he could look elsewhere for another seat on the grid. For this to happen with Mercedes, one of the current drivers would need to be underperforming, and Hamilton might need to accept a secondary role within the team. This scenario seems unlikely, especially given Hamilton's track record and reputation as a 7-time world champion. If a return were to happen, it would require significant changes within Mercedes, perhaps even forcing them to offer Hamilton a leadership role that he might not be able to resist. However, for any of this to happen, it would require major adjustments, particularly with Mercedes' technical team. Hamilton has made it clear in the past that his frustrations with the team stemmed from them not listening to his input on car development, which ultimately pushed him to consider a change. At this point, all of this is purely speculative, but Wolff's comments suggest that Mercedes may have mishandled the situation with Hamilton. The team's approach to his contract negotiations and their failure to meet his expectations seem to have played a role in his departure. What's even more telling is how easily Hamilton was swayed by Ferrari, a team that has been steadily improving and is now in a much stronger position than in previous seasons. Fred Vasseur, Ferrari's team principal, shared his perspective on why Hamilton was so easily convinced to join the Maranello team. He pointed out that Ferrari's success in 2023, which included more race wins than Mercedes, made it clear that they were on the right path. Vasseur also mentioned that discussions about Hamilton joining Ferrari started as early as 2022, so by the time the contract negotiations began, convincing Hamilton was relatively easy. The fact that Ferrari had a seat available at just the right moment was another fortunate coincidence that played into their hands. Vasseur expressed no concerns about Hamilton's current form, especially in qualifying. He believes that Ferrari's environment will help rejuvenate the British driver and give him the tools to perform at his best again. Ferrari has been gradually improving their ability to manage tire wear and race pace, which could be a perfect match for Hamilton's strengths. Over the past couple of years, we've seen how the team has shifted from merely excelling on Saturdays to becoming more competitive on Sundays as well, something that could suit Hamilton's driving style much better than the challenges he faced at Mercedes. This growing strength in Ferrari's race day performance is expected to make a significant difference for Hamilton. However, this success may also push him further away from the idea of a return to Mercedes, as Ferrari looks to be a much more promising option for his 8th World Championship. Nevertheless, the future is looking particularly exciting for the sport, as we will witness two of the grid's most competitive drivers, Charles Leclerc and Hamilton, teaming up at Ferrari. This dynamic could add some real spice to the championship battles. While the pairing of Hamilton and Leclerc at Ferrari could be an exciting prospect, there's also the concern of how the two highly competitive drivers will coexist within the team. Christian Horner, the Red Bull team principal, raised some valid points, suggesting that having two alpha drivers might create some internal tension. In F1, having two drivers competing for the same goal can sometimes cause division within the team, especially when both are pushing to be the team's lead driver. Horner compared Ferrari's future to the situation at Red Bull, where Max Verstappen is the undisputed leader. In his team, there's no question about who is the number one driver. Horner made it clear that Verstappen is their most valuable asset, and the focus is on supporting him as the primary contender for the title. On the other hand, Ferrari will have two drivers pushing for supremacy, which could make it tricky for the team to manage their expectations and strategy. The key challenge will be deciding how to balance the priorities of both drivers while keeping the team's goals intact. This won't be the first time Hamilton faces off against a competitive teammate, though. We cannot forget the intense rivalry between him and Nico Rosberg at Mercedes during the 2014 to 2016 seasons. That battle was not only thrilling for fans but also incredibly stressful for both drivers. When Rosberg finally triumphed over Hamilton in 2016 and won the World Championship, it had such a mental toll on him that Rosberg decided to retire from F1 immediately afterward. This intense competition between teammates is a familiar dynamic for Hamilton, and it will certainly be interesting to see how he adapts to this new challenge at Ferrari. Despite this, Wolff gave credit where it was due and reflected on the key role that Niki Lauda played in bringing Hamilton to Mercedes. Wolff acknowledged that Lauda was persistent in convincing Hamilton to join Mercedes back in 2013, a move that turned out to be one of the most important decisions in the history of F1. Lauda's influence was crucial in shaping the team's future, and without his efforts, Mercedes might never have secured a talent like Hamilton, which ultimately led them to the dominant era they've enjoyed since then. Wolff highlighted that Lauda's determination, especially in securing Hamilton's signature, was pivotal. He recalled how Lauda convinced Hamilton after a difficult weekend at the Singapore Grand Prix in 2012, where Hamilton had a disappointing result with McLaren. Lauda's ability to persuade Hamilton to join Mercedes, despite the team being less competitive at the time, was a game-changer. It was a bold, somewhat controversial move, but one that paid off in a massive way. Now, in Hamilton's transition to Ferrari, we are witnessing another bold move. Ferrari is welcoming two highly competitive drivers in Hamilton and Leclerc, with both looking to prove themselves as the future of the team. However, as much as this could be a powerful duo, it's not without its challenges. Leclerc has been with Ferrari since 2019, and the entire team has revolved around him for several years now. Hamilton will have to integrate into this existing structure, which might not be the easiest task. The dynamics within the team will undoubtedly shift, and the question remains, how will the two drivers navigate the complexities of their rivalry while still aiming for the ultimate goal, Ferrari's first driver's title since 2007? As we look ahead, it will be fascinating to follow Hamilton's quest to win an 8th World Championship with Ferrari. His age, the evolving competition, and his past struggles with pace will certainly make this an uphill battle. However, with Ferrari improving every season, there is hope that the team could provide him with a car capable of competing at the very top once again. There are also questions about how the team will manage their internal dynamics. Given that Leclerc has been the face of Ferrari for several years now, the team has been building around him, and Hamilton's arrival will bring an entirely new layer of complexity to that structure. Can Hamilton overcome these challenges, adjust to Ferrari's system, and make the most of his remaining years in the sport to win his 8th title? In any case, whether Hamilton's future lies with Ferrari or possibly returning to Mercedes in the future, it's clear that his legacy will continue to evolve in exciting ways. The Formula One world is filled with surprises, and we can only wait and see what happens next. Before we wrap up, we want to hear your thoughts. Do you think Hamilton has what it takes to secure his 8th World Championship with Ferrari? Or do you believe he might return to Mercedes if things don't work out in the Maranello team? Let us know in the comments below. If you're also interested in a deeper look at McLaren's 2024 season and their future prospects, check out the video that's appearing on your screen right now. We'll be diving into all the latest developments with McLaren and what fans can expect in the upcoming season. Stay tuned for more exciting F1 content, and as always, thank you for watching. Before we wrap up, we want to hear your thoughts. Do you think Hamilton has what it takes to secure his 8th World Championship with Ferrari? Or do you believe he might return to Mercedes if things don't work out in the Maranello team? Let us know in the comments below. If you're also interested in a deeper look at McLaren's 2024 season and their future prospects, check out the video that's appearing on your screen right now. We'll be diving into all the latest developments with McLaren and what fans can expect in the upcoming season. Stay tuned for more exciting F1 content, and as always, thank you for watching.